good morning folks. This is my first time in Gothenburg, and in fact I think it might be my first time in Sweden, and I arrived here late last night under the cover of darkness and I know absolutely nothing about this city. So let's get out and explore and see if Gothenburg is as cool and quirky as this hotel room. Som visserligen även. I must admit, I love arriving somewhere late at night and then you got that excitement when you wake up the next morning and you see it all for the first time. The first thing we'll do today, especially as we're in an expensive country, is take advantage of the free hotel breakfast.
Firmen und eins von der Rede besser geht, dass der ganze Schweiz besser geht. Das ist natürlich gut.
Ah, ja. No idea what it is. Cheers, guys. That breakfast, and in fact just the hotel in general, is absolutely incredible. Now you think of Sweden as an expensive country, and of course it is, but to get a hotel like this right in the centre of the second largest city in the country for 52 quid on booking.com, it's fantastic. Yeah, that was a really nice hotel, but there is a catch to the price I paid. Of course there's a catch. That was for a Sunday night. Now if I wanted to stay there again tonight, it would have been about 3 times that amount. So one of these things you've got to do when you're staying in an expensive city like this is move hotel, and that's what I'll be doing tonight. I'll be going somewhere else, which is just round the corner, and then tomorrow morning we're going to get a train somewhere. Now we're just off the back of filming quite an intense wee video. In fact, it's probably the last video on this channel, so you might have seen it. But that's why I've arrived in Gothenburg with no research or planning. But I'm going to try and embrace that and use it to my advantage. And we'll try and do a little travel experiment and see what it's like if you're just dropped in a city with absolutely zero knowledge, and see what it's like to explore. Now it's a beautiful day, so it should still be nice, but if you're looking for a comprehensive tour of Gothenburg, this is probably not the video for you. The one thing I do know about Gothenburg is that it's a port city, so let's try and get down to the sea, because I like the sea. So let's see what we can see. This is what we're talking about, isn't it? I love getting down to the harbour and seeing all the different boats, and in fact I've just spotted a pretty big boat over here. Look at that, is it not just magnificent? I'd love to tell you a bit more about it, but I'll let you read that for yourself. As much as I love the tall ship off in the distance, look at this one next to it. It's a multi-storey car park ship. Genius. My first impressions of Gothenburg are that I've stumbled upon something of a wee gem here. Now I'm not going to lie, the reason I'm here in the first place is a 17 quid flight from Edinburgh, but wow, what a place. Maybe you can tell me in the comments all the things that I missed today, and then that gives me an excuse to come back. Oh wow, look at this, they've got an old lightship here, and unlike the one in Dundee, it looks like they're at least preserving it or refurbishing it. Take note, Scotland. Aye, nae bother, your ma, Scottish slang. Oh, look at this. The people of Sweden erected this monument to the memory of the first Swedish settlement on American soil and gave it in custody of the state of Delaware. Cool. I certainly get the feeling that Sweden's a lovely place to live, and maybe that's why they were so careful letting us in at the border last night. Immigration was crazy. That's cool, the wee ferries, it's just like a regular bus stop, so maybe I should break the rules of my experiment this afternoon and do a wee bit of research and maybe try and get a ferry somewhere, because on a beautiful day like this it'd be a shame not to, eh? Wow, this little place behind me is so impressive. It looks like a church, but it's actually the fish market. Now, unfortunately it's closed at the moment for renovation, but they really take their fish seriously here, don't they? It's a shame it's not open just now, but at the same time it's nice to see it's being renovated, and by reading the signs there it looks like they're using traditional methods, which is so important, isn't it? I'm in a part of town now that seems to be called Haga, but it's so quiet and peaceful, there's barely a car. It's all these old wooden buildings and everyone's just sitting relaxing, having a coffee. It's so beautiful. The cats all hate me. This place is just crazy beautiful and it's so quiet. You would have thought somewhere like this would be really touristy. We are pretty much in the centre of Gothenburg, but wow. At the top of this hill I've spotted what looks like a castle, and it's got like a gold crown on top. So we've just got to go and have a look, but it's a lot of steps. You're just a tiger, aren't you? So it's called Skansen Kronan. I'm guessing Kronan means crown, and there's a big golden crown sitting right on top. I'll show you that in a second. But look at the date, 1687 to 1700. That's old. I'm just trying to get a view of the crown. We're a wee bit close to the building just now to see it. Ah, there it is. I was just looking out at the view over the rooftops, and off on the horizon I spotted a football stadium, and I'm pretty sure that stadium holds a piece of Scottish football history, because I think that's where in 1983 Aberdeen won the European Cup Winners' Cup. Sure, that was Gothenburg, right? But if anything, the view the other way is even more spectacular, and there's a nice church down there, so I think we should go and have a look at it. Ah, there's always more steps, isn't there? Aye, a bit of refurbishment going on at the far side, but it's still pretty cool, isn't it? But I must admit, this weather really does help make everything look beautiful. Right, we've done some amount of walking this morning already, so it's almost midday. I think we should go and try and find some lunch. Now, as I look for somewhere to eat, I have to point out, of course, that in the Scandinavian countries, eating out can be very expensive. So what I tend to do is try and look for a lunch menu rather than going for something to eat in the evening, because lunchtime is normally a lot more affordable. This is like an old warehouse district or something, all the old brick buildings, really nice. I've passed a lot of international menus, but I really want to try something Swedish, because if IKEA's taught me anything, it's that I like meatballs. Hey, that wee church there, it's called St Andrew's Church. Oh no, I hope there's not some Scottish connection to Gothenburg that I know nothing about. There's a lot of people eating meatballs here, so I think I've found my lunch venue. There we go, folks, that's a proper lunch, isn't it? Oh, that's so good. There should be lingonberries served with everything. Hey, I really like this place, and it's got those two things that you always have to look out for. It's busy, and there's loads of locals in here. Oh guys, that was a cracking lunch, but Sweden's an expensive country, right? So let's make it into a quiz. Let me know in the comments below just now how much you think that was. So I was sitting in a cafe in the centre of town, and I had meatballs, potato and lingonberries and a Pepsi. If you have your guess just now, I'll reveal the actual amount in the notes at the end of the video. Right, let's go and see if we can get checked into our second hotel in Gothenburg. It's a wee bit early. Check-in doesn't open for another hour, but we'll chance it just so that we can get on and do something this afternoon. That's the plan anyway. We got lucky, there was a room available. It's always worth checking, eh? Right, so here we are, we're in the Royal Hotel now, and we're up to £95 a night for a single room, which I still think is okay, but it doesn't quite have the charm and uniqueness of last night's hotel, that's for sure. But price-wise, I think that's okay, because considering I was looking at Edinburgh prices just a few days ago, and it was around about 200 quid a night was the average, which is absolutely ridiculous. But this is a room with breakfast in the morning. They've also got tea and coffee and home bacon, which you can just go down and help yourself to at any time. It seems like a really nice hotel. I think the room that they had assigned for me was a city view, but there's actually construction across the road, so I'm quite happy just to have the courtyard view. And to get this room an hour early, that was a massive bonus. That lets us get out again, so it's good enough for me. Right, I just need to sit down at the desk now for a wee while and look at this map, and we'll decide what tram route we're going to take this afternoon. But we'll be out again before you know it. I've hatched a little plan. So we're in the centre of the city here. There's a tram that takes you out this way to Saltholmen, and that takes about half an hour. And then from there, you've got the ferries that will take you over to the archipelago of islands. I'm not sure if we'll have time to go to the islands, but let's head to Saltholmen and see what it's like. Right, no rest for the wicked. We've spent £8 in our day ticket, so we better go and use it. Well, that's the little bit where you got water, tea and coffee and homemade raspberry cake. Okay, so we're now just waiting for tram number 11 and that'll take us all the way down to the coast. To be honest, I'm glad I've bought that day ticket. I feel like we've done enough walking today. See, I'm starting to look after myself.
Stannar vid domkyrkan. Stannar vid grönsakstorget.
So schön, heute Fahrradseite zurück. Jetzt mit dem Klo steht. Kommt nicht.
Ja, wir sind nur einen Tag hier.
Nur einen Tag?
Ja. Und
Okay.
wir haben jetzt gedacht, okay, jetzt müssen wir das noch am wenigstens mit dem Boot.
Hier ist ja
Nästa Saltholmen.
Wow, this place is gorgeous. It's another world. Even the tram ride to get here, the number 11, that's worth it alone because you pass through some of those Gothenburg suburbs that are just unbelievable. Even if we don't get a boat, it was worth the journey. But this is a bit of a ferry hub, so we'll do our best.
Det är det just nu om du kör lite längre norr i 76an mellan Munkedal och Tanumsheden.
Wow, they're just so kind here and they've given me maps and timetables to be able to do a little tour so I can go around a couple of the islands, I think. Even 3 if I want. We'll see how much time I've got. just remember, everything you're seeing today is included with your Zone A day ticket, and that only costs £9. So what do you think about this place? If you're anything like me, you'd be absolutely blown away by it. I don't think I've ever seen anywhere as beautiful as this. And by the way, there's no cars on the islands. You've got to use these little golf buggies. But this is the island of Styrsö, I think I'm saying it right. And this is the largest island in the archipelago. And I've just kind of jumped off here randomly off the ferry. I'll go for a walk, try and get across a bridge to another island, but we'll see how that goes, and then I'll get the ferry back. What a place. Tell you what, how the other half live, eh? I don't ask for much, just give me a wee boat, a golf buggy, and one of these houses, and I'll be happy. Here's a wee map. So we got off there and we've walked along. We're going to cross the bridge over to Donsö, and from Donsö we'll try and get a ferry back to the mainland. Seriously, this is paradise. Oh my god, they've even got oyster catchers. That's it, we're moving. It's funny because there's thousands of islands in Scandinavia, and there's probably hundreds just like this one. But for me, it's the first time I've seen anything like it. I'm blown away. That's us coming onto the bridge now. Oh, there's some heavy traffic ahead. Wow, how do they cope with it? I'll be honest, there's parts of it that are not dissimilar to the west coast of Scotland, But there's just some kind of feel about the place. I think because there's no cars as well, that makes such a difference. But it does feel like it's a community. There's lots of places in the UK that are beautiful, down in Cornwall and places like that. They're so gorgeous, but they've been taken over by holiday lets. But this all feels like people just live here, you know. It doesn't feel like a holiday place. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's certainly got that feel. There's names on all these little huts: Christina, Maya, Berta, Omega, Alpha. And I imagine that each one of these corresponds to a boat in the harbour, and they've got their own little shed. How cool is that? This must be the main square of the island. You've got the supermarket, the notice boards, but look at all the houses up in the hills. Oh, we might have timed this perfectly. There's a ferry coming in now. I'm not sure where it's going yet, but we'll have a look. No, I checked the timetable and that wasn't my boat. That one was going on to the southernmost island of the archipelago. And if I had all day, I'd be on it, but I don't. I really need to get back to the mainland. And according to the timetable, we've just got about 20 minutes to wait, which is perfect. That gives me a wee opportunity to look round the boats. I'm going to look like such a fool when I wake up and this has all been a dream, because surely places like this don't exist.
Nästa, Saltholmens brygga.
And there's the number 11 back to Gothenburg just waiting for us. How efficient is that? Well, as the sun drops towards the horizon, I'm happy to say that the Gothenburg experiment worked really well. I had a cracking day, and I'm amazed how much I was able to see and do without any prior knowledge or research or planning or anything. That's the railway station behind me there. I'll be back there tomorrow morning, but that's for another day and another video. So in the meantime, I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.